Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to show you what to do when the word clean shows up on your coffee maker. This is the Hamilton Beach programmable 12 cup coffee maker, front access easy fill, model number 46310. So does your coffee maker look like this? It's got this front access easy for the filter basket. And then if your display, does your display say the word clean? I'm going to show you how to reset that clean light, and we're also going to descale it with vinegar. So if we look at the manual, it says the clean light is going to scroll across the display after 30 cycles. So if you don't ever unplug this, and so after a month, that word clean is going to scroll across. Now you can simply get away, you can unplug it and plug it back in. That resets the counter. And then the word clean won't show up. This machine does not have a descaling mode you need to put it in order to get the clean light to go out. So you simply just unplug it. Unfortunately, you're going to lose your time in your program. You have to unplug it, let it sit for a little bit, plug it back in. That'll reset that 30 cycle counter. But now every month might be a little much to descaling this. Depending on how hard your water is, every 3 to 6 months seems like a more reasonable schedule. If your water's really hard, I might do it every 3 months. If it's not as hard, I might do it every 6 months. I might even go up to 7 or 8 months. So is your coffee tasting bad? Is it not as warm as it used to be? Is your coffee maker taking a long time to brew coffee, and is it really loud? Those are all signs that it's time to descale. So coffee makers on the inside are pretty common across. I've cut this one open. This is a Cuisinart, and you put the water in. It's got a water tank. The water goes down below. It gets heated up by this heating element. So this heating element is on the other side of the warming plate. So the water comes in, it gets heated up, and then it gets shot out this other tube. It goes up over the brew and brew the coffee. But if you look, this is an aluminum heating element, and the minerals, if you have really hard water, they're going to start to stick to the inside of this heating element. I've got this cut open, and over time, that's going to restrict the flow. Your heating element's not going to be able to heat the water as much. So if we run vinegar through here and let it soak, it's going to break away some of that minerals. Okay, so the first thing you do have to do, you do have to unplug it to reset that clean light. So unplug it, plug it back in, then the clean light goes away, the clean stops scrolling, and now we can descale it. So remove your water filter. If you've got a water filter in the back, the water filter, now it doesn't come with a water filter, but if you've got a water filter right there in that spot, remove it for the entire duration of this and then put it back in. Also, your brew basket, it has to be installed, but we're not going to put a filter or any coffee here, but the brew basket does have to be installed. Make sure your carafe is empty and the lid is installed. So I use distilled white vinegar, but you can use just regular white vinegar. So we're just going to pour it in here up to the 3 cup mark. The 3 cup mark's a little hard to see. It's okay if you go a little bit more, right about there. So it's underneath the 4. If you go to the 4, that's okay. Now, when vinegar runs through a coffee maker, it does stink a little bit, so you might need a little bit of ventilation. Okay, so you're just going to pour the straight vinegar in there. We're not using a bunch of vinegar. Some coffee makers, you mix water with it, but the manual says just pure vinegar. So pour the pure vinegar in. Put the carafe back, close this. You're going to hit the start button. That's going to start brewing that vinegar through the coffee maker. But we want to pause it. We want to stop this after about 30 seconds. I like to wait about a minute. So after it's ran quite a bit of vinegar through there, we're going to stop it and let it soak. So we can see around back, that's where the vinegar went. It came up almost to the 4 cup mark. But now our vinegar is going through the machine. The main thing is we want to stop it before it runs all that vinegar through. We want some of that vinegar to be soaking on that heating element when we stop it. Okay, so it's been running for just about maybe quite a minute. We've got water there. We've still got some vinegar in the machine. Now I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to stop the brew. I'm going to press the power button. That's going to stop the brew. Now, depending on if your coffee maker, if you haven't descaled it in a really long time, you may want to let it sit for up to an hour. But 30 minutes usually works pretty good. So let it sit for 30 minutes, come back to it, and all you're going to do is finish the brew by hitting the power button, and that's going to finish brewing the rest of the vinegar through. And then we got to do some fresh water rinses. Okay, I've let mine soak for about 30 minutes. I'm simply going to press the brew button. That's going to finish brewing the rest of the vinegar through. That's not going to take very long to finish brewing that, about another 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so it's finishing up brewing the rest of that vinegar through. You're simply just going to come up here and press the power button. That's going to turn it off. Now we want to take this, dump that vinegar out, and we want to rinse this out with soap and water and the filter basket. So be careful, your filter basket could be hot, but you're going to rinse it out with soap and water, put it back in. I rinsed the carafe out with soap and water, and now I'm going to fill the water reservoir up with fresh water. We got to do 3 of these. These are called fresh water rinses. We're not going to put any coffee in. We're just going to fill it up and brew the water through there. We want to get rid of that vinegar smell and taste. Just hit the start button. We're going to let these, we just let these brew all the way through. So after about 12 minutes, you'll come back, empty that out. Be careful, it's going to be really hot. And then do another fresh water rinse. Do 3 of those. So start to finish, this could take you as long as, depending on how long you let it soak, could take you about an hour and a half, almost an hour. So thanks everybody for watching.